All right, Tana Unicorn. I find it astounding that people meet, get attached, have sex, then realize there's incompatibility here, and then have a situation to deal with. And for me, I think that sexual compatibility can be so varied in ways, right? It's not just frequency of sex. What do you like to do in sex, right? What if you're into something your partner's not into? Does that mean if you're monogamous, that you don't get to have that sexually fulfilled? Like that's a shitty fucking deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I just think these are, if they're important to you and if you want to be happy, you need to find somebody who wants to fuck you the same amount, if not a little bit more or a little bit less, right? But not a lot more or a lot less than I want. I've had both. I've been the person in many relationships who gets frustrated with a insufficient amount of sex, and it's been a problem for me. And I appreciate men with high libidos. I think we're well matched. But here's the thing. I don't match well with somebody who doesn't have a high libido for a relationship, right? So for me, it doesn't make any sense logically to start dating somebody and get to the point where yes, we share these values and these values and these values. Okay, great, right? We want to live in the burbs, you have to live in this, you have to want to live in the same place. What if you like somebody and they want to live on a farm, and then you want to live in a condo downtown Toronto? These things all matter in terms of compatibility. But sexual compatibility is the life force of your relationship, in my opinion. It is the place where magic happens. It's an energy exchange. It's your happy place, usually. It's sacred. More sacred to her than you, probably, just so you know. Emotionally more sacred, which shouldn't necessarily scare you guys, just so you know. It's just that women experience sex differently, so we feel things about sex, and that, I guess that's a bit of a shock for you, or maybe you just that freaks you out a bit or something, or you feel like women get too clingy. But I just think it's part of the territory, man. You've got to know who you're fucking, and if you want to fuck a girl, then you're gonna have to be okay with the fact that she's gonna have feelings about fucking you. Please and thanks. That's all we're asking. No one wants to be in a dynamic with somebody where they feel like they're not getting enough touch, enough sex, enough attention, enough kisses, enough hand holding, right? What if, you don't want to be in a place where you don't have enough? It's important that both sides get compatibility, but they just might not be together if there's a high sex drive and a very low sex drive. And maybe sex doesn't matter to some people as a very important element in their relationship, granted. But for me, in a romantic relationship, I have concluded, even after many recalculations and reassessments, that it is in my best advantage to lead with my sex drive and find a man that matches, and then basically ask what his name is. Because that's how important it is to me. Men, if you could put a Batman signal out, something that's I fuck a lot, I get hard and fuck you from behind really a lot and repetitively, and if you could just make some sort of Batman signal for me and put that out into the universe or in your profile, if you could just say in your profile, high libido, hungry, hungry appetite for sex, something that gives that part away, because for some women, we're looking for that. And I do want to reinforce for people that sexual compatibility is so important. It's your happy place. It's your connection place with your partner, and it's a beautiful, blissful time. And but it can also feel like food out of reach for the starved if you can't get it, and you're feeling attracted and the tingle in your body that makes you kind of want sex, and it sucks to not be able to get that part fulfilled too. And I guess ultimately what I'd like to kind of conclude on is sexual compatibility is important, and it's not wrong, and you're not wrong or bad if you want sex or less sex than your partner. But I do think it matters to be clear about your sex drive up front if you want to have compatibility on your sex drive, which I think really matters for happiness. And also other questions, you know, monogamy, non-monogamy, are you open to threesomes? If so, like what are the things, like what are the dimensions or the rules? There's so many things that you should get on board with. And it's funny, I'll tell you a true story. I've had different conversations with different exes, and some of them like wanted to swap with other couples, like some of them wanted to do that kind of stuff, and then others that were like zero, like no interest in other women, even though I was like, hey, dangling another woman for a threesome, and they were just like, no, I'm not interested. So I've had them all, but ultimately I did have a dynamic end recently because of one of these elements was a sexual incompatibility. And to be fair, it couldn't have ended for a better reason, because sexual compatibility is essential for me, and it might be for other people that you're dating. So it might be good to get those things up front, but I will just give it a little bit of a disclaimer. Even though I think sexual compatibility is important to get aligned up front, I personally don't like talking about sex so early with people, because it can get into a situation where I feel like this man is literally jerking off while he's talking to me. By the way, gentlemen, we don't want, unless we're specifically sexting with you, please, we don't want you to be jerking off and talking to us, because you talk to us with your different texting voice than you normally do. And we know, and we feel like if we don't know you that well yet, and if we're still getting to know you, it can just feel a little uninvited yet, I guess, just that sexual energy, maybe just so much. I don't know, maybe I'm just being too much of a girl, but I think there's ways to talk about sex that make the other person comfortable, and that is not asking like questions that can lead to sexting. I don't know about you, I don't sex with people I don't know in like the real life and have a relationship with. Like, sexting is what basically women are afraid of getting trapped with. So you know how men are like afraid of clicking on the girl's profile that's actually just like an OnlyFans girl and not a real one? Like, you know how there's like fears that men have and experiences? Women don't want to be the girl that ends up chatting with a guy that she's hopeful about dating, and the first night she's talking to him, she gets the impression that, you know, he's stroking his dick while he's talking to you. And even if you are, it takes, you know, it can be too fast for some people, and sometimes that can short circuit the entire thing. So that's my best advice, and sexual compatibility fucking matters.